Alright, welcome back everybody. This is game 2 of our cast tonight. My name is Purge, I'm casting here with Luminous. He's getting more tea right now, but I'm going to do a little bit of intro here. This is the second set of the first round. This is 2, we're going to be watching MYM versus MiTh. This is the bottom half of the total bracket. Only eight total teams in here, so it should be a really good game. We're very excited about this. Better than Red Spade versus Aeon, which we don't know anything about those teams. Everybody is familiar with the MYM team. They were previously side. They did very good in the international, placing 3rd, and basically just about the same bans as we saw in the last game between Orange and Neo-Evolution. Man, that's hard to say. Gonna see a Lich and a Broodmother and a Night Stalker with a Bat Rider. Actually, I believe we saw Nature's Prophet last game. Night Stalker obviously made it into the game, and additionally, we're gonna see a Lich in the first round. No Anti-Mage though, so we'll see if we see an Anti-Mage. I feel like Night Stalker and Lich are by far the best counters against an Anti-Mage, partially because of Sacrifice, and also because Night Stalker is just such a beast, man. Silence and slow and all that great stuff. So, once again, if anybody has any questions during the cast, please ask us in the webchat.quakenet.org @gg.dotacast. It sounds like Luminous has returned, and there it is, the first pick Anti-Mage, not in the first round of bans, so we're going to see an AM game. And I'm expecting to see a lot of hard disables coming out of MiTh to try to counter this, and as well maybe some heroes like Chen or Enchantress.
Gonna call it right now, Furion.
That too. That is
because
also
that
super
hero
good.
is OP.
Yeah, man.
Of course, Anti-Mage. I mean, Anti-Mage has a ridiculous win rate in Dota 2 for a reason. But that part of it because a lot of his counters are not in the current pool, such as Lycanthrope, Shadow Demon. Another reason for it is, well, I feel like most teams are not really prepared for facing up against Anti-Mage. I think Anti-Mage is a really easy hero to push down. And that's why I was shouting Furion, because, well, he's one of the best pusher, he's one of the best gankers, and you could kind of deal with the Anti-Mage if that is regard. So I'm predicting some sort of like a Windrunner Furion pick coming from MiTh.Trust. It fits a really aggressive playing style. And, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. It is pretty amazing. Wow, first pick Crystal Maiden. I did not see that coming, but...
It makes me look bad, but I think that makes no sense. I'm going to say that makes no sense.
Oh,
okay,
there you go. You are righted. The reason, in my opinion, why Crystal Maiden is a really good support against Anti-Mage, max out Frostbite as fast as possible. You know, it's just as good as a hard disable. I mean, obviously, he can't blink away with it, so in that sense, it's just as good as a Roar from a Rexar. It obviously doesn't scale up to 4 seconds, but I think Crystal Maiden is actually pretty dang good at ganking Anti-Mage for that reason. Just that one spell alone. And the Aura, I guess, helps out as well if people get drained in lane.
Yep, she is one of the few supports in the game that has dual nukes really accessed early on. Of course, there's always an interesting playing style with the Crystal Maiden. Well, do you max the aura and help your teammates, or are you going to max your spells? And in this game, we might actually see her maxing the spells. Getting that extra levels of Frostbite will be helpful. And but Dire will still need a lot more single target solid stuns to go up against that Anti-Mage because, well, he's still annoying. He still will have the spell shield. He still will get tanky one way or another. So you're going to have a lot of spells to chuck at him to get that kill on the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, it definitely helps just to have more nukes. It's the best way to shut down somebody. Or, I mean, you can sometimes go for like pure damage spells, but those heroes don't usually fit in the metagame too well. Heroes like Tinker or Pudge see it sometimes, but not super often. So we're going to see a Windrunner pickup by MYM here, and that's really smart, of course. Going to be their solo on the difficult lane, probably going to be soloing the top lane for them. And other than that, I just want to comment on Crystal Maiden. It's kind of interesting how her skill build changed over the last year. For a really long time there, people would just be like, Crystal Maiden, level 4 aura ASAP, you know? And now people are being a little bit more conservative with it, which I like. They just go for like 2 aura levels, maybe 3, and pick up really big nukes so that they can have a bigger teamfight presence in the early game when they're still like level 6 or something like that.
I feel like she's one of the few support heroes that the skill build could adapt very easily depending what you need. If you need more AoE damage, you pick up the Nova. If you need more single target stun, well, the Bite's not bad. Yeah. If you kind of want to just help out your teammates, then, well, there's always that Aura build. So she is really versatile in my opinion in that regard. But now we're seeing Witch Stalker going to be the pick here. So that healing restoration would be of course, a really defensive spell for the Anti-Mage. Of course, cast is going to be annoying. And we're going to see that, yes, single target disable that we are mentioning earlier. And this is another pushing pick. So if you look at the first 3 picks here from Dire, really pushing heavy, really ganking heavy. And that's why I say a lot of teams don't know how to deal with the Anti-Mage, and I feel like this is the correct response. You just outpush him. Anti-Mage is basically a -1 hero before he gets tanky, before he gets mass DPS, because, well, he can't do anything against massive creep waves barreling down your tower. So glad to see that Dire responding properly here.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is a really powerful hero if he's played correctly. It is really impressive when a good hero, or when a good player gets a hold of him. Getting really fast pushing items are good mana pool, and then they can do stuff like Blink initiates. That's super long disable that we're talking about. Wow, a Crobulus ban. I was talking to Dami about that before you hopped on. I was curious if we were going to actually see any Crobulus play, and I think this is a smart ban out MYM for the fact that she is a very good pushing hero who is a semi-carry basically, and I could see them doing something like that, soloing a Crobulus on maybe an easy lane like the Dire top lane, and once she gets to 6, man, Furion plus Crob plus Shadow Shaman and Max Aura or something like that from Crystal Maiden would be obscene pushing power.
Yep. And seems like Dire has push in mind as they ban the Pugna. Won't be surprised at all if they use their last ban for a Shaker, because they're pretty good with their extended AoE range in terms of stopping the creep wave. And pushing is the name of the game. Venomancer is going to be banned here because they don't want to deal with that Plague Ward being dropped down here. And one thing I want to just really question here is what is going on with the MYM lineup. I think when they were signed, they definitely had Yamate as one player, and obviously Yamate now plays for Orange. They had players such as Ice, Roy, XY, which I believe plays for Orange now as well, and Tofu. And that was like the oh my goodness roster that stormed the entire Dota universe when it was first drafted up. And now it's just HY on the MYM roster, so I'm really, really confused. It's going to be a puck ban. Pretty good ban as well. But
yeah, definitely. I think I remember I read a little bit, or I watched an interview or two. I believe that some of their players were a little contested about which action RTS game to play, or MOBA, whichever term you prefer. I know some of them
going to Han.
I think League of Legends actually. I think League of Legends is really big in Singapore, I think, and some of the players were basically saying like, oh well, we haven't been playing Dota 2 very much because, you know, we've been playing a little bit of League of Legends at a professional level, and they've been kind of switching back and forth. And I seem to remember that some of the players said something like, we're not really sure if we want to play Dota 2 yet because there's a lot of money to be made in League of Legends, and it would be easy for us to perform well there. And I think that may be where some of the other players went, like Ice, for example. I think it was an interview with him. But,
I see.
But that was at the International. That was a long time ago. For all we know, it could be something else since then. But I know that there's a lot of pull in people and teams maybe disbanding, maybe not necessarily really stable teams who've been playing Dota for a long time, but newly formed teams in the next like 4 months. It's interesting to see which game they're going to choose.
Well, Dota 2, I mean, it's only getting bigger because we are having such a good start. I mean, we are this tournament having a really good prize pool. There's going to be more and more tournaments coming up soon, so money is in Dota 2, and as it is, interesting picks in Dota 2, because Radiant, I don't agree with that Viper choice, because yes, it's going to grant you that mid-game control, but what is Viper going to do against a push?
Yeah, he can range attack wards. That's pretty cool, I guess. He's not going to be able to do much against Nature's Prophet in terms of slowing down push at all, unless maybe he tanks up and like lets his corrosive skin do the AoE. But that's going to be pretty time consuming. And I love the Enigma pickup by MiTh. I love seeing Enigma in heavy push strategies. Just throw him into the jungle, and occasionally when you're like level 4 or 5, you can just roll out and be like, I'm going to do a pretty moderately powerful stun on you and push like crazy with my Eidolons. He's just so versatile in a pushing lineup. Ganking, pushing, and obviously those beast black holes when the team fights actually start happening.
Yep. And the name of the game for Radiant right now is to get levels quick and hard. You want to max the power shot. You might even want to get high levels on that Witch Doctor so you could use cast to kind of deal some damage to creeps. Because what else is damage going to come from? So they're going to need another hard nuker. Whether that's going to come in... Oh, wow. That's not the hero. HY, really talented captain. He might have some ingenious strat right here, but I'm not seeing it. What do you see, Rich?
The best thing about Vengeful Spirit in this case, a minus armor from Terror, which means the creeps take less damage, but they don't really have a lot of ways to dish it out. I feel like an AoE magic support of some kind might do better. Maybe even like, not necessarily Tidehunter, but... and of course he can swap people out of position. That's cool. In push lineups, maybe somebody's gonna be out of position and they can get a kill with that. But that's like all I'm looking at here. I think it's a little iffy because they basically have Power Shot and Cask, and that's it for AoE.
That's it. And of course, signature hero for TRLK, playing that Morphling, probably the best Morphling, really? Next to Burning or some of the top Chinese players. So this is his hero, and I'm looking for a performance. To me right now, just exiting the points pick stage, excuse me, the ball is in the court of MiTh.Trust. It's their game to win or it's their game to lose. If they execute this pushing strategy correctly, they will just roll over this Viper and Anti-Mage who has no AoE. But if they do this incorrectly, well, Anti-Mage plus Venge plus Viper, well, they're hit pretty hard in late game, and we have some disconnects.
I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there's some issues, or we're going to remake the game. I'm not really sure. Maybe there's lag, it's the wrong server, perhaps, or something.
But 4 chicken purchased on the Radiant team.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm just messing with that.
Okay, I was like checking items. I was like, where? Who bought 4 chickens? You can't even afford that many. And there's another disconnect from the Radiant team. Maybe they'll come back. I'm not sure. No one's typed anything. Let's ask. I'm kind of curious about the Morphling. I feel like Anti-Mage basically started getting played a lot because he was a semi-good Morphling counter.
Right.
In the mid game. But in this sense, I mean, if you're fighting against a underfarmed Anti-Mage in a pushing lineup, he might not really be strong enough. He's probably not going to have his Manta style, and at that point in the game, you can always just replicate him, and that's going to actually just help the push even more if you have a replicated Anti-Mage. So we might see Morphling be used really effectively here, because I expect he's going to get a little bit more farm than the Anti-Mage. We are disconnecting, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I hope that doesn't go into my abandonment.
No, private games are free to go.
Legit.
Did you create the game?
I did, and then I realized I'm not supposed to.
Okay. Learning so much how to create private games with passwords, man. That's pretty amazing. You're making a lot of progress.
About to hit my 21 Dota games.
Weird. I got a bunch of wins in the last last 2 hours. I swear to God I was at like 138, and now I'm at 150. I must have just updated some databases or something weird like that. What's your most played hero? Even though you've only played 20 games.
Pudge 3 really? Games, 2 wins, 1 loss.
Dang, dude. I've been like so
best hero in the game.
I get so angry when we have bad lanes, so I like play support heroes so often. Even though I used to like solo all the time. Not all the time, like I'm fine playing supports, but it's like Tidehunter, Crystal Maiden, and Venge are my top 3. Just because I hate having bad lanes so much.
Wow, great
nice.
CM. Yeah, okay.
Oh my God, he banned AM. Oh, God. Remake. Good
it's
stuff.
not exactly rocket science, but.
And I don't know if the teams can talk. We should probably leave the game though.
Radiant team back.
Yeah, we can't talk. Yep, disconnecting. Here we go. Black screen. He said we're restarting. The teams are bad. Apply. Unblack screen. Oops. Did I do that wrong? I don't think I ever actually black screened. A little bit of an error by the admin, and then also an error by MYM, thinking it was AP.
Well, for anyone that's wondering, this is Gosu Gamer's presentation of Dota 2 Malaysia Invitational. We are at, I guess you call this round 2, right? We're still in the winner. Well,
it's still round 1, but
round
it's the second section of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be MYM versus MiTh.Trust. MiTh.Trust doing all right lately. MYM, haven't seen them play that much. The picks are already done, and we're just waiting for a couple of remix. If you miss round 1, you can catch them all the VODs. but we'll be spoiling the result. So close your eyes. I think Mineski beat out MEFC, and also Orange stomped over Neolution.
Yeah, no kidding. It's definitely a good game by them. Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting game here with a lot of push picks coming out of Myth. We'll see if they can pull out a win. We're definitely agreeing that it looks heavily in their favor as a result of Anti-Mage, like the absolute lack of AoE. They may have good laning, especially with Viper on the mid lane, but we will see. I am not completely sure that it's going to be really effective.
How do you think it's going to be the laning for MiTh.Trust here?
I guess I was under the impression that we would see a Viper mid. He could go bottom, maybe. Maybe we'll see like an anti-mage plus support mid. Sometimes that gets thrown into the lineup when they have weird lanes. And that could give him some more EXP, and then he would be laning against a Shadow Shaman, which would be not horrible, because I pretty much assume Shadow Shaman will be mid, and Enigma jungle, Furion lane, bot lane, I think, probably.
Seems, yeah, he's heading that direction. All right, let's talk about who is playing what. TRLK on that Morphling, as talked about earlier, it's going to be someone on that Furion. On top, it is going to be TNK, going to be on the Enigma FFFFFY on the Crystal Maiden. On the Radiant end, entire team smoked up. HY on the Anti-Mage, Rave Plu on the Viper. This is Art on the Witch Doctor. Shibix on the Woodrunner, and Freedom handling that Vengeful Spirit.
And we'll see if they can pick off a fast kill here. This would give them a nice little gold advantage. They're going to spot out the Treant, but does not make them visible. Wow, Viper almost attacked that. Did you hear that? I heard his attack animation go very, very closely, revealed himself to the Treant, so I'm going to get one ping. There's an interesting observer ward that's going to stop the easy camp from spawning, so that means it's going to make it really hard for Enigma to end up jungling there. A lot of pinging going on. They're going to spot out the Morphling and the Crystal Maiden. They don't actually know they're here yet, and they're not going to be able to get initiation. They're going to be by the tower, so the smoke has been not necessarily wasted. They did place that observer ward very deep. If they found anybody, they would have screwed him over pretty hard and got an easy kill.
Yep, that will definitely slow down Enigma's farm. He is a decent jungler early on, but that level 1 camp, he's going to get a lot of go from there. Meanwhile, on the bot here, MiTh.Trust, Furion, he is summoning Tree, which is actually very interesting. You can see that he actually used it for a lot of scouting, which does provide valuable early game information. And instead of Viper mid, it's going to be Anti-Mage solo. That is not what we expected.
Yeah, so far no supports next to him, and it looks like Furion doing interesting pulling on the bot lane, actually. That's pretty cool stuff. Using the Treants to allow the first wave to just already start beating on the tower, which is really cool. I mean, how much damage is this tower going to take? That's like 15% of the HP. That's going to be that much easier to push when they're finally ready to do so.
Not only that, he will get safe farm right next to his own tower. A lot of times the bot solo lane can't really get any farm because, well, you always have to play stay away. But now he got the creep wave to his own tower. He can get the farm. But I'm really interested on this killing tri lane of a Viper, Witch Doctor, and Venge. And they're going to find themselves Morphling and Crystal Maiden in the jungle. So this tri lane is going to have a lot of action, I assume. It's going to be somewhat difficult kill the Morphling. So I assume if the Crystal Maiden ever out of position, she will be the target for the Radiant team to kill.
Yeah, she's having very good control. Most players would get absolutely terrified. It's like, oh my god, 3 heroes. That first poison not going to be enough. It's only a 20% slow if I remember. No, 10% slow. Really, really inadequate, plus a 4-second cooldown. So Viper will be doing the damage, but in terms of the disruption or the disable capabilities, he's not going to do a whole lot until he hits at least 3 or 5. Yep.
But they are doing a pretty good job in terms of controlling the lane against Morphling because, well, that's a lot of range hero against a 400 range Morphling. Morphling's still doing a decent job in terms of getting his last hits in, but here comes Enigma. Maybe he's going to try to set up the gang. He does have 4 Eidolons. Do they have the damage? So they're going to go on the Viper. Viper going to get stunned, and he is in huge trouble. It's going to be Crystal Maiden picking up the first blood against the Trial. And here comes the Furion with the Sprout as well. They're going to get a double kill on the top and going to do some residual damage to Morphling. We do not expect that a dual lane of, wow, they're going to transition right into a push. MiTh.Trust means business right now.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Viper TP's in, he immediately gets Frostbite, another Malefice, only level 1 though, so it looks like he's going to survive this. The cask is going to do a little bit of damage. They may back off for a little bit. I'm just really surprised Enigma immediately just swaying in. Level 2 is like, I don't need a good Malefice. I'm just going to use these 4 crappy Eidolons and 1 little mini stun and a couple nukes from the rest of my allies, and we're going to immediately take a lot of kills. And 2 kills already. I'm very surprised that ended up happening.
Yep, these kills are godsend to MiTh.Trust. You know that they're going to be hugging around a lot, so experience gain is going to be lessened for them. So getting any type of kill as a pushing lineup is really, really good. So that's good job for them. But they are leaving this Windrunner free farming. I think what the correct thing for Windrunner to do is upgrade a Basilius immediately and get a push up. And anytime you see the Windrunner, anytime you see the Furion leave the lane, do some damage to that tower, because in terms of tower trade happening, you are definitely going to lose to the pushing team. If you could get any tower trade back, well, you're going to even it up a little bit.
Yeah, and that will make a big difference, because as the game goes on, it's going to be harder and harder for to push against a Furion, and Crystal Maiden taking a lot of nukes in the top lane. Will Morphling kill the I'm sorry, yeah, he does get the Witch Doctor, and Crystal Maiden will survive. Now hitting a couple times on the Viper and the Vengeful Spirit. Why is he hitting so hard, man? All he has is a Basilius that looks like he actually already transferred a lot of his stats into agility, I'm pretty sure. And are they going to get the Viper? They do pick him off. That is really, really aggressive out of this Morphling. I'm pretty dang sure that he does not have normally that much agility to strength ratio at this point in the game.
I think 5 minutes ago I said this is probably one of the best Morphling players in the world, and he is showcasing it. 400 range, or was it 450? Whatever his low range is, he's playing aggressive and he's getting the kills. Crystal Maiden perfect positioning as well. He is going to go for the Aura build, and it's going to pump up that Rasta and of course the Furion and Enigma. The Haste Rune is going to get picked up by HY. HY no, gets a Hex. Can he pick it up? No! Ooh, it looks like Haste Rune now on high, and that is going to be the death of Rasta. What Rasta should have done here is get the Hex off and attack the Haste Rune and get the kill there. Now he's getting completely chased by HY. HY doesn't want to get into the tower range, so a nice harass being done by the anti-mage.
Yeah, definitely. His mana was already drained, so that's basically the reason that he didn't get that kill there. Not to mention he wasn't 6 yet, so no way to follow up on that. And Shadow Shaman will just heal it up. Anti-mage once again being aggressive, and Crystal Maiden on the top lane getting a killing spree. There's a chain stun on the Viper. He's easily picked off and going to be on the Witch Doctor. And the lane that was supposed to be really aggressive and get kills is not going to happen. This Crystal Maiden, dude, what is going on here? Fast boots. He literally has like 2 level 1 skills, and he's just dominating up here. That is crazy.
Yo, showing some intense lasting skills. 4 man on MiTh.Trust top lane, and they are pushing this one off. Of course, the Morphling has a Ring of Basilius activated. Eidolons on your tower, Treants on your tower. Mass amount of right clicks. 0 to 7, 5 minutes in for MiTh.Trust. Soon to be 1 extra tower for them as well.
Yeah, that is just insane. How 7 kills in 5 minutes, that is so much. There's the Wave of Terror. They have absolutely no way to stop it. Nature's Prophet will get the last hit. He does have a Sage's Mask, which is the new version of the Sobi Mask. I'm sure that's copyrighted or something. He's probably going to go for a fast medallion here, and that's going to allow them to pick off these heroes so easily in the early game when they only have 5 or 2 armor, especially because everybody's such low level.
I guess another item choice could be Urn of Shadow. We've definitely seen a lot more. I think Chinese Furions really favor Urn of Shadows, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Medallion is really good for focusing hero that are really tough, such as Anti-Mage with his high base armor. Moving on the mid lane here, we do see, despite Shadow Shaman not really getting the absolute rune control, as we see Anti-Mage grabbing another DD rune, he is getting the levels, and that's going to be important. Once he hits level 6 with that Serpent Wards, he is going to join the fray as well, and that is going to be bad for MYM.
Yeah, definitely true, and that is kind of an interesting lineup. I mean, it's not often, obviously, that Anti-Mage solos a mid lane, and it's going to make it really hard for him to pick up those runes because he can always just blink to get a little faster in front of you, and I'm pretty sure he has pretty good base movement speed, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's going to be really hard for Shadow Shaman to do any kind of rune hoarding here, and as a result, he's spending all of his mana and not getting a crap load of farm. Just about to buy his bottle finally. No, actually, he does have his bottle. There's an urn on the courier as well. Whose is that? It's going to be Crystal Maiden's? No, those are wards. Somebody's urn is on the courier. I don't know whose it's going to be.
Maybe it's the Furion?
And Nature's Prophet does have a medallion, so maybe he's just going to prove us both
Maybe
right.
they're just rich, and they just want to buy stuff.
He's like, medallion and Urn of Shadows, because I'm a boss. That's probably what it is. Unless Crystal Maiden's just going to drop some wards, and yeah, it is hers. She just wanted to drop an item, and now she has that medallion, or the Urn of Shadows.
Well, Crystal Maiden does have about a gazillion kills grabbing on the top lane.
Yes, oh my god. She's been there for every kill.
Yeah. And it looks like they're going to focus a little bit more attention on the bot lane. Yes, MiTh.Trust did get a lot on that top lane, but what did they get? What did they lose? Well, they lost a little bit of bot lane because Windrunner got absolute free farm. Level 7. I'm pretty sure her CS pretty nice as well. Do a quick check on the entire CS of the game. 26 on the Rasa, 24 on the Morphling, 21 on the Enigma, meanwhile on the Radiant, and 40 on the Windrunner. Yep, she's getting complete free farm, and 34 on the Anti-Mage, so nicely done there as well. But overall, the advantage heavily in the Dire side.
Yeah, those phase boots really do make such a big difference in last hitting, even against a hero like Nature's Prophet, who has such good base damage. But here comes the gank. There's the Frostbite on the Metro Spirit. There's the first Malefice Shackle going on the Nature's Prophet, and he's going to take a couple more nukes here. Really, really good casks going on from the Witch Doctor, but the big black hole is just maybe. No, the phase boots end up picking off the Crystal Maiden and still going on the Dire team. Anti-Mage now joining the fray. He's going to be looking for an ulti after a couple hits, but there's the Malefice. Will that keep the Enigma alive?
That is going to be enough, and looks like the Enigma turns back. Windrunner got that kill on the Crystal Maiden, and I cannot stress how huge that is. The reason you don't ever want your Crystal Maiden or any support to get mass amount of kills, well, chances are she is going to die later on. And when you have a huge streak like that, 4-kill streak, the next time you die, you're going to give away 200 extra gold. And Windrunner says, well, I am filthy rich. Let's see what her item choice is going to be. Mecha might be really strong as a counter-pushing item. Force Staff might gonna give them a little bit more fighting chance. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's too bad they don't have something like an Earthshaker on their team. For that reason, I've seen teams really do that well. Get a really, really fast Force Staff on Windrunner, just completely skip the mechanism and go immediately into a Force Staff, and then they basically use it as a pseudo Blink Dagger, and then everybody's like, whoa, Earthshaker just got a ridiculously good Echo Slam off at 15 minutes or something like that, and that could have been really effective against this pushing lineup.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Right now we do have a little bit of standard in terms of training the farm. I think Morphling right now getting himself a good lead. You can see he's going for Perseverance. Perseverance first with Morphling. I mean, there's so many different builds with Morphling. Sometimes we see Perseverance and not get upgraded to anything. You just want to have the nice regen. It looks like we're going to have a huge push on the bot lane. Unanswered by the Radiant team. Another tower goes down for the Radiant. And I think Dire could keep pushing. Mass Serpent Wards is still up. And they're not going to give up on that push.
Yeah, he does have Arcane Boots as well, so absolutely going to be casting on every single creep wave here. Even Morphling is showing up. I believe he must use his Replicate to come on. No, he must have TP scrolled or something. But he is here. He is level 7, max waveform, still only at 682 HP. That is how confident he is in getting the kills. Since they have the advantage, man, might as well put some more stat levels into that agility. And Witch Doctor here to defend as well. Only a level 2 cask. There's the Serpent Wards on the ground. Tower's taking a lot of damage. They're not going to be able to defend this, and they will back up just a little bit. Going to see one more power shot, but there's just too much stuff there, man. The AoE isn't enough.
It really isn't, and that's why I said earlier, you need to stress the levels to get you really need to somehow get your Witch Doctor to level 7 to pump out that cast. Viper trying to get some farm in the mid lane. He's got 1,000 go in the bank. Even if he finishes strength threats right now, he won't be tank enough. And looks like MiTh.Trust some Roshan aspirations. Right now we're only 10 minutes into the game, so Roshan only had 2 upgrades, so he's not that strong. With the Medallion Courage, they could definitely bring him down. Let's see if the Radiant team react, and I don't think there's any reaction. Anti-Mage on the way, Viper very nearby, and the entire Radiant support lineup coming in. But I think looks like MiTh.Trust, they will get it.
Yeah, they definitely are aware of what's going on. It seems like that's the case, and they're going to smoke it. They are going to go for it. There's a couple of pings on the Anti-Mage. They know he's coming in. It's going to be so close here before the team fight ends up happening. 300 HP going. Is Anti-Mage going to steal it? No, Morphling picks up the Aegis. He just waveforms in. He's only got about 300 HP. It doesn't matter. I think he's going to get picked off, and he does indeed. Aegis is dropped. Windrunner is going to get picked off as well. There's the Hex. She hasn't died yet. Rasta will drop, and there he does go down. Morphling coming back through. Big black hole catching 2 people. And Vengeful Spear goes down. Are they going to catch Viper? Almost dying to a catapult. He's being chased by a creep. And Furion a little behind, but there's the Medallion, and the one slap, and he drops.
Now your
3 for 1 exchange, or 3 for 2 if you count the Aegis down, but MiTh.Trust says, well, we just want to fight right next to your tower, so let's get that push going on right now. And Anti-Mage says, oh, I can't actually defend this. So another tower is going to go to MiTh.Trust. The lead extends to 2 to 11. Keep in mind the Roshan did give MiTh.Trust some key experience points, but also a lot of gold. Despite Windrunner having a huge CS lead, I'm sure a Mecha will be picked up really, really soon for MiTh.Trust. Tower gets picked up by the Morphling, and he is going to get ridiculously farmed.
Yeah, that was a really good last hit by him, especially against a Windrunner with those phase boots. They do about the same damage, but he was able to last hit that up to 1900 gold. I'm going to expect a fast Lincolns, I guess. Might as well go for it. Sometimes we maybe see like a really fast Black King bar, but probably not going to see it in this case. Most likely going to see like a Manta Lincolns, but does it even matter, man? They have such a gold advantage. I'm scared to click the graph, and there it is, 7,500 and climbing, just about at 10k, and we are, let's remind ourselves, 12 minutes into the game, almost 13. That is obscene.
Right, and right now, Radiant doing the correct thing. They sense, well, Dire is going back for a little bit of time. They need to heal up, so gotta get some tower.
Yeah.
And what best way to do it right now is, well, you know, when they're not there. So they're gonna try to do some tower, but an immediate glyph. And MiTh.Trust, don't even try, bro. And we're gonna defend this. And right now, it's really hard for MYM. I really don't know what they could do, to be honest. I think right out of the pick stage, they were really in a disadvantaged position.
Well, Windrunner, very interesting item build. Absolute naked mechanism with the phase boots. Usually you at least see a Basilius or something like that. But this game, he is concerned with getting that mech up. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, though. Witch Doctor, no boots yet, 3 cask levels. Vengeful Spirit, not quite level 6. Going for Wave of Terror first, which I think is the best decision in this case. And Viper continuing to farm on the top lane. He is getting closer to his Vanguard, unless he just goes for Treads Vitality Booster with that Stout Shield, but he's not quite there yet. Only level 7. Actually, Morphling's going to swing on through here. Morphling actually opting for a lot more HP now, up to 929. There's the ulti from Viper. He is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get mana drained by the Anti-Mage. We're going to see an ulti here in a second, and wow. Still not dead. He popped his wand at the absolute perfect time, but he's going to die for sure. He doesn't have any more mana, and I think Viper will get blasted now. Anti-Mage will pick it up. Really good control there by MYM, realizing he waveformed offensively, and that is the most dangerous time to be near Viper. That's the time to be aggressive.
Now, nicely done for MYM, recognizing they can get the kill, and this is why Anti-Mage is such a hard counter to the Morphling. Morphling trying to desperately get some mana to TP out, but unfortunately was not able to do so. And that kill really, I mean, it's by nowhere it's going to put them back in the game, but they need a lot more of that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's going to be an Invis Rune grabbed on the bot by the Shadow Shaman. He still has those Arcane up to 2100 gold. We'll see if he gets a really fast Blink Dagger. I'm probably going to expect to see something like that over a Black King bar. He doesn't have to worry about his teamfight survivability very much right now. They more want to be catching heroes out of position and then fighting 5v4 at a Rex. And I think that's why he would do something like a more initiation. Yeah, and there it is. Blink Dagger is on the Shadow Shaman now. We're going to see a very dangerous teamfight coming for the Radiant team if they're out of position and they don't check his inventory before the teamfight starts.
Yep. What I hope to see from MiTh.Trust is they be a little bit more aggressive. That Blink Dagger item suggestion, definitely they're going to be aggressive, and they're going to find themselves a Viper. Viper's going to get blinked upon for... No, come on. Okay, you had 2-3 heroes there, but probably a good choice, because
I think they should have. I agree with you.
We're Radiant team has support, so maybe they had better foresight than we did. But MiTh.Trust, Virion farming a Staff of Wizardry in the jungle. I wonder what that could be. Of course, you got about a gazillion upgrade from a Staff of Wizardry. I hope it's a 4-staff. It's going to give him a little bit more teamfight capability. But if it's something like a Dagon or even an Axe Scepter, it wouldn't be too bad.
I think it's going to be a Necro 3. That would be my assumption. I mean, they're so push heavy already. Boosts up Nature's Prophet's HP, gives them some more damage, and of course those summons are really good for pushing, for the aura and the general tankiness. Just right click the melee one on one of those support heroes and all of a sudden they're going to have to worry about their mana. Will we see the wards? The wards are just now dropped, the creep wave is cleared, and the cask will come through. Looks like Witch Doctor was thinking about the Maledict, but he did not go for it. There is a mech up on the Enigma, so that's very important. We're going to have a lot of heals coming out, and they're taking out all the wards one by one here. Windrunner doing that work. And that's a little bit of sloppiness coming out of Myth there, spending their big cooldowns on that tower and not able to pick it off.
Yep. Generally, wards are only really helpful if the enemy lineup cannot come up and right-click it as Windrunner did, and they're pretty weak wards. They don't tank that much damage. So what you want to do with a Rasa push is sometimes you want to send someone up ahead, or you want to be in a numerical lead in terms of hero. MiTh.Trust had neither of those, and that's why that ward didn't do any damage at all. Right now, we do have Invisible Shadow Shaman finding where the Anti-Mage is. Maybe they could get a kill, maybe. But with the wards on cooldown, probably not. And it looks like Shadow Shaman finds yet another Invis Rune. He's going to stalk this Anti-Mage. Right now, we are going to see the Anti-Mage might be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, he is going to come in with the Invisible, and he's going to get a blink on the Anti-Mage. But this right under a tier 2 tower, so MYM does, of course, they would have TP scroll. So let's see if they're going to go for it.
And I think Morphling will have enough for a waveform, and here comes the initiation, there's the lightning, there's the hex, he's completely out of mana. Morphling getting really low as well, but it doesn't matter, man. The Anti-Mage Illusion helping out, draining all of his mana, and he absolutely got baited into that. Morphling sitting at 625 HP, 17 minutes of the game, doing like 120 damage hit. This is just crazy.
Yep. And that was really smart. He actually morphed into agility first. Oh, looks like they're going to swap and go 40. Rasa half HP. He's going to go down for sure. Can the MiTh.Trust team get anything in return? They are going to get the bench kill. Yes, Morphling picks that one up. Is really precariously low. Looks like he's almost completed with this Lincoln there. Yeah, he's 300 go away. And they're kind of trading kills here and there, but look at the bot lane. MiTh.Trust not missing a beat, and they're pushing that tower right now.
Enigma has Eidolons, their trees have been spawned, but the one anti-pusher on the Radiant team other than Witch Doctor showing up, dropping down those the power shot and taking out those dire Eidolons. They are such good farm. It is ridiculous, man. 30 gold apiece.
Do you think MiTh.Trust is losing some momentum here? I mean, even though the last couple minutes for MYM, it's not the best minutes they have gotten, but they have defended most of their towers.
I think their biggest mistake was dropping those wards on the bot racks. They were like, oh yeah, let's get a racks, but they didn't have a kill like you said, and nobody was on the high ground, so the wards got dropped. I think they would have been really smart to just be like, why are we trying to racks this? We could take mid tower and top tower obscenely easy. Let's just take the easy towers. Like, why are they trying to racks it now when they could just take the easy towers, you know?
Yep. So, I mean, right now, I mean, despite MiTh.Trust being a pushy team, they are playing on a clock, because if you don't get your pushing things going, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble once the late game comes. So you don't really want to mess with Venge. Probably one of the best late game support hero there is. Witch Doctor, same thing with that Maledict F4. They definitely, like, all 5 heroes on this Radiant team scales moderately well into the late game. You know, the Radiant team, the IO team, excuse me, not so much. Crystal Maiden doesn't scale that well. Furion, depending if he gets a farm. But yeah, you're completely right. Nature's Prophet picks up the Necro Book, and we're going to see a continuous push. Morphling doing work on the top lane, and he did get the tower destroyed, so that's yet another tower going in favor of MiTh.Trust.
Yeah, that's really good play. Nature's Prophet not only picking up a Necro Book, but he's currently on a Necro Book too, getting a really fast big item. We're going to see the push on the bot lane again. There's the wards dropping down. I believe these are level 1 wards, and yes, they are indeed. He's just about to hit 11, but they do get the tower, and it's going to be significantly easier to push up on the top lane. I think Viper and Windrunner will clean up those wards, but the melee racks will take a little bit of damage. Will Shadow Shaman go in? He does another lightning, and that's going to make a big difference when the team fight actually comes. Wow. Witch Doctor almost going down to really basic nukes. Is he going to get the Frostbite off? No. The Shackle Shot not landing. Rasta goes in. He does get disabled immediately, but with that haste he will back up, and I think this may be a disengage from Myth. No, they're going to keep going. Popping the Treants and running on the high ground. Eidolons as well. Viper's in some trouble. There's the medallion on him. Who's getting blocked? It's Enigma. Enigma with a Blink Dagger as well, but Anti-Mage comes in, doing a lot of damage to Crystal Maiden. I think Crystal Maiden's going to end up dying here in just a second.
I think, oh, looks like Hi trying to give chase, and I think he's going to just get stunned down. Enigma trying to do some work. Crystal Maiden buys right back in the game, and she is TPing in. Let's see if Hi really recognize that. Is he going to keep chasing? He's out of mana at this point. This is mean that MiTh.Trust can go in for the active engage, and they are going. Where's the stun on Hi? No, they're pretty much done. But keep in mind, throughout that entire push, Morphling on the top lane dealing damage to that top tower because it's already half HP. Morphling not really slow down on the farm. He's got the Lincoln Sphere. He's up to another 1900 gold. It's really, really tough for MYM. If you could pull out the gold chart right now, you cannot believe your eyes.
I'm scared. Oh my god. That's crazy. Look at the I don't remember what they're called, the grid lines. I've never seen so many grid lines before. I don't know if that's recently added, but 12, oh my gosh, dude. This is why you do pushing strategies. This is how you shut down an anti-mage. And, I mean, we said it before, they just didn't really pick the right counter push heroes. They've been available to take whatever they want. They're going to take another Roshan now. The only tower left is the mid tower, basically, and the bot racks is ready to go. And this is the perfect time for MiTh.Trust to get another easy 200 gold for everybody on their team.
Yep. Just apology on the pronunciation of. Apparently, it's HY, but come on, that's too many syllables.
Yeah, obviously.
So, it's Hi.
Yeah, that's fine, man. No big deal. The medallion is going to just destroy Roshan here. It is like the best Roshan destroying item, I swear. Aegis will be picked up by Morphling. Immediate smoke. how are his items? He actually has Lincoln's boots, Basilius turning everything into agility to take out the Roshan, and will he transfer some back? I just saw him pretty equal strength to agility. I'm not sure if he's probably gonna be really aggressive here since he does have the Aegis. But smoked up allies find each other. It's the swap blink by the Enigma. He looks to be in a lot of trouble, and with the shackle, he's gonna go down so fast there. Anti-Mage coming in, changing targets, going on the Morphling. Now Morphling out of mana. He's going to get picked off really easily, and that is the problem with having no strength.
Well, he does have the Aegis. Let's see how much he's going to do as he comes back alive. He's not going to do anything because he's just going to run away. It's a pretty decent team fight for the MYM team, considering that they're so far down. But MiTh.Trust not done. Hex is finished. Sorry, no, that was just Hex from Rasta. I thought they had a Hex stick on Furion. If that was the case, I would have called GG. But no, they did get the kill. Anti-Mage forced to buy back. So, I mean, that's going to cut into his farm. He's only got 960 HP, got the Battle Fury finish. I'm surprised he's actually gone for the Battle Fury. I think most cases they would have, a lot of Anti-Mage would have just go tank item.
Yeah, especially
that was definitely the offensive build.
Yeah, I would agree. Especially against a hero like Morphling, you don't really need the bonus damage. If you're fighting like a Spectre or something, you're like, well, I want to do damage when he doesn't have mana. But in Morphling's case, once he's out of mana, he's more or less useless anyways. So I think something like a Vanguard might have been a better decision. I would agree with that.
I think, I mean, if you want to looks like we have a little bit of... Anti-Mage, core HP gets nuked down. Black Hole also spent just to make sure they get the kill. No buyback from the Anti-Mage team, now he just used it. And this is a full-scale 4v5 team fight. It looks like they're Morphling in a little bit of trouble, but he's morphing everything to strength. No problem there. Tower gets picked off here. MiTh.Trust could go for the high ground if they really want to, because the Anti-Mage is down. Looks like they're going to swing bot, and this bot racks in perils right now.
Yeah, absolutely true. Anti-Mage's the only hero missing. Everybody else is still alive, but so is everybody on the Dire team. Nature's Prophet just taking the time to pick up a neutral creep camp. He doesn't even care, man. Rasta coming back as well, checking for wards. No, he did actually pop that with a double damage rune. And just a 3-man push against 4, but they don't really care, man. Morphling just auto-attacking. There's a shackle shot on a couple creeps, and there we go. Lincoln's getting dispersed by the Witch Doctor, and there's a Force Staff. I'm sorry, the waveform, and nice swap by Venge. Gonna possibly keep. No, he's gonna go down anyways. Now that the adaptive strike is leveled up, Venge will drop as well, and maybe even a Witch Doctor. We will see, but I'm pretty sure we're seeing no Anti-Mage coming back. This may defend the push. We will see.
No, just too much stuff in the way. Look at the amount of creeps, Necrobooks, Treants, Eidolons, everything. Right-clicking on that Rax. As the bot Rax goes down, and as they're blinking on this Anti-Mage goes down, I want you guys to look on the mini-map. How many towers are down for Scourge? I think that
1,000.
paints a really good picture for how this game is going.
Let's look at their HP levels, by the way. They are really healthy. Every single tower is really healthy. And that basically shows how long it's going to be until MYM gets an advantage back. But when you get Rax this early in the game, it really does make a big impact. Every single creep now that spawns on the bot lane gives less gold and less experience, and they're harder to kill. And that adds up hugely over the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep, and definitely you have to force to dedicate at least 1 or 2 hero to defend on the bot lane, and that's going to make the next push for MiTh.Trust all that much easier. The Battle Fury suddenly becomes really good in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of room to farm now.
Who's playing in ahead? That's all.
Yeah, there you go. You know, even before the Rax caught, I could kind of see why you might want to go Battle Fury. I do see some Chinese team, they actually get Battle Fury against pushing lineups. Because let's say if your mid lane's getting pushed, Anti-Mage will love to keep pushing out on a different lane and be like, okay, well, I'm pushing your tower now. Please TP back. Please TP back. Huh. And the Chinese team will, okay, we'll TP back. And then, you know, you buy yourself time with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Battle Fury. It's a really roundabout logic, but sometimes it works. But in this case, not so much.
Yeah, and sometimes that's one of the few things you can do as a hard carry when you're not extremely farmed, is you can just push a lane. They can say like, oh, we're going to push mid, take your tier 2 tower, and then you'll say, well, I'm just going to push your tier 1 tower and trade, and then we're going to get a little bit less gold from you, but that's going to be a tower that we're not going to be able to get 10 minutes later. And if you can do some of that stuff, it can really make a big difference.
Yep. So, question time. Because this game...
It's not that fast yet. We might see Rasta die here.
Rasta's
power
gonna go
shot.
down.
Yeah, he's...
Yep, Maldic's gonna do the job here. Right now, Swap goes on a Crystal Maiden, and MYM definitely not giving up in this game. Shadow Shaman, immediate buyback. Not too sure whether those buyback are justified or needed, but that's exactly what they're gonna do. And one thing I just forgot to mention, Dire has a Rax up and they have a Furion. Like, you are never ever gonna push out that because that Rapid Nature, so good.
Yeah, it really is.
In terms of pushing all the lanes.
It is definitely pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's really fun to watch really good players play Nature's Prophet, especially when they start off on a solo lane. It's like a gank happens, they perfectly initiate, and all of a sudden it's like a 3v2 or something. You know, you always get that extra person in your lane when it matters is when those ganks happen. And then obviously he moves into like a very, very good support or pushing role, which we've seen so far out of him. He's up to 3,500 gold, probably going to go for a sheep stick next. That always just seals the deal against the enemy carries, so that's what I'm expecting to see from him.
Rasa wards drops really offensively, and same thing like what I said earlier, no hero up the camp, no one really scaring away. Rasa ward gets immediately picked up. That was about 200 gold free farm for the entire Radiant team, trying to do some residual damage to that tower. Tower really healthy. Shackle shot on that Rasa. Rasa half HP, eats an ultimate, but I think he is gonna make it out just fine. With that Rasa wards on cooldown, I don't think they could really successful push. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, Morphling and the anti-mage, a little bit of tangled up, but Morphling should be fine.
Yeah, he's actually completely out of mana once again, but he does have his Manta style finished. So in terms of team fights, he's going to be doing a lot more damage, not to mention the agility boost. And Crystal Maiden came there, try to help out ganking on the anti-mage, but not effective. And that top tower is gone. I don't know how long that thing's been missing. But even more pressure going on MYM here. It's going to be so close for this game to end. They're just constantly keeping up the pressure. They're not backing out at all. The only reason they're going to back out is maybe for another Roshan kill. I don't see them leaving this tower anytime soon.
Yep, Anti-Mage trying his best to really push back the Morphling running away for his, he's really in oh nice fine. I was gonna say he might actually die to a Anti-Mage, but well, he does have Lincoln Sphere, that's gonna block the void. But here comes Anti-Mage. Wow, Sprout gets 2 heroes, and here comes the black hole. Gets cancelled immediately. I got excited for a bit though.
Anti-climactic.
Yeah, Anti-Mage in a little bit of trouble. He's being surrounded by 3 or 4. Shackle shot on 2 hero, and this could be the beginning of a comeback. As we see, MYM, they're winning team fights after team fight. Like, I can't really believe it, but they are.
Yeah, it's really as a purpose of those nice shackle shots. But MiTh, the Morphling gonna pick up that tower, immediately uses Replicate to get out of there. It's a nice win. That's gonna slowly push the game. I mean, even if MYM has better team fight at some point, they still have to deal with that. All of their towers are gone. All of their Raxes are able to be killed, and that was a really nice snipe there by the Enigma, picking off that tower. Like, no more towers left. Somebody has to stay at home and defend. Any push at all is going to threaten the game.
I think what MiTh.Trust should do at this point to seal the deal completely is wait for the 3rd Roshan. Keep all the lanes pushed with your Wrath of Nature or with your Morphling, whatever it takes. Just keep the lanes all pushed. Once the Roshan spawns, all go there, take up the free cheese, free ages. And the next fight, it's like a 7-5, you know, in terms of numerical advantage. And that should give them the advantage in terms of killing the game. Let's check out the items, because I think right now Dire team really leading in terms of item as well. Blink BKB Mecha up on the Enigma. Urn and Bracer only on the Crystal Maiden. Rasa has Blink Arcane Boots, Mystic Staff, Necro 3 Medallion on the Nature's Prophet, and Lincoln Sphere Manta on the Morphling. Ridiculously farm if you just compare the item to the Radiant lineup.
Yeah, and to me, just have really good farm here. They're going to catch a support hero. It will be... No, that was a huge shackle shot. Oh my gosh, Morphling going to possibly go down. No, he wands, and Manta's immediately making it out of there. Surprisingly, there's the ulti from the Witch Doctor and the Viper, but will Viper go down? I think he just may. Morphling transferring strength, but his mana pool is not too high. An Anti-Mage coming through, gonna clean him up. I think he's getting so low, and he does finally go down with the Wave of Terror, surprisingly snagging that kill.
MiTh.Trust playing sloppy, I think. I don't think any type of regression is necessary at this point, but they're buyback from the Morphling. They're going to keep fighting a Shackle shot. Very dangerous. Fighting in the forest. There's a Shackle on the Enigma. Enigma gets sprouted for a little bit of assist, but now here comes the Illusion. The Anti-Mage Illusion doing so much mana burn, and then this team fights all over the place, but the Enigma is going to go down. And right now, Anti-Mage still rampaging as he's getting many kills, or he's assisting his teammates to get the kills. And we're going to see a big chase coming on. Prophet is going to TP an Anti-Mage. Really low mana. He is going to get just enough mana for the Blink. And I think he should be fine at this point. Switching his Trust like crazy to get even more mana to get the Blink off.
Yeah, Morphling has been all over the place here. Still hasn't picked up any actual boots. Maybe he'll go for an Ethereal Blade. I haven't actually seen an Ethereal Blade in frickin' forever in Dota 2. At least not by a professional team. But I would love to see that on him. It's so fun to watch him just like two-shot heroes like Witch Doctor, or even picking out Vengeful Spirit would be such a big help. But they're going to go for the racks using the Manta Morphlings. He's actually going to waveform through, hitting 2 heroes. It's going to force a little damage on the Anti-Mage and the Windburner, looking for a Shackle Shot, but he will miss it, and the ward's finally placed down at a good opportunity. There's the damage on the Viper. Will he be able to go down? He takes a bunch of hits, but he's actually going to survive with 50 HP. Stats absolutely paying off. There's a BKB from Enigma as well. No Black Hole yet, but there it is. It's going to go on the Windburner and the Anti-Mage. Nobody is around to do the damage, though. Morphling was just a little out of position, and there we go. Anti-Mage gets picked off. If he can buy back, they can maybe defend this. We're going to probably see the mid-racks fall as a result.
Yep, mid-racks is going to fall after Morphling grabs himself double kill. He could just waltz to the top lane, grab the lane as well. GG is going to be called by MYM. MiTh.Trust definitely looking a little bit sloppy at the end, but the overwhelming raw pushing power was just too much. MYM looking, I mean, they had a ray of hope somewhere in there, but end of the day, 15 to 25, and we have a 33-minute GG in favor of MiTh.Trust.
Yeah, I think that was a really fun game to watch, and that's basically, if you guys are trying to attribute these play styles in your pub games, push like crazy. It does take a lot of teamwork. You have to convince your allies to come with you, or have a really good Morphling to basically solo push on the top lane the entire game like they were. And I think that's probably the main reason they never won their early team fights, is because Morphling was always somewhere else trying to push.
Yep. And this goes exactly to what I said in the pick phase. Anti-Mage is not like God in Dota 2. He's very beatable, and MiTh.Trust did it very easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. They will move on. MYM going into the winner bracket. I'm sorry, MYM going to the loser bracket. MiTh.Trust going on to the winner's bracket. They're going to be playing the winner of Red Spade versus Aeon. 2 teams that we are not too sure about. And other so far in the winner bracket, also Mineski and Orange. Not really sure who's going to win that matchup either, but both of those teams very good as well. So still MUFC and Neolution in the game, and I think that covers pretty much everybody in the tournament.
Yep.
All right.
Any words? Oh, sorry. Did you need to cut off the recording? Any words that what game that we're going to be casting next?
I don't know. I can check the Skype group. That's pretty much the best information that I know.
Okay.
So we'll be back in just a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more games from this tournament, which is the Malaysian Dota 2 Invitational. My name is Purge. I've been casting here with Luminous, and yeah, I guess don't go anywhere. See you soon.